Man, it's been 3 years doing the interview journey, um, and you're probably wondering why. The reason why I want to do this is the interviews and the journey has not been easy. Let's just put it that way. But the thing is, was unexpected was the people that I look up to. Not only that they changed my life, I also changed their life, and that's incredible. I didn't expect that authors or best-selling author would be not only be my mentor, but also be my friend. That's pretty cool. Um, and so the reason why I wanted to do this is because at the beginning I was terrible. I suck at interviewing. Like I stumble and I make so many mistakes. So let's talk about this. I was recently listening to Evan Carmichael video. He was talking to a person, and he's like, it could be what was it? He said, and that could be, but he said a form of strategy or idea, or you're afraid of the thing. For me, I am afraid of the thing, right? The interview, the people, right? There's a reason for it, and also it's a strategy, but it's not easy. um, because I always, when I was a kid, I always think, and I still think, because books help me to form my opinions, my ideas, my philosophy, and the strategy that go into it. I have a book right here that changed the course of my life, because the things that I do, it's very different, that I have experienced in my life. It never actually happened. It's new. I never knew that it existed. Um, Nor do I know that getting your message out there even existed. As I go along this journey, um, because if you don't grow uh, your thought patterns, if you're not growing your awareness, you're stagnant. And along the way, I learned things and I put out videos and interviews. It changed me, right? Not only changed other people' life, but I learned things from them. Like I like interviews because it gave me the opportunity to meet people who I never would get to meet them since they're so far away. Like um, uh, whether they're from Australia or whatever. And then over time, they teach me something. They taught they taught me to be the ability to empathy, to empathize to people with people, and I learned that along the way that not only they're mentors or not only they're authors or mentor and they're doing coaching, but they have empathy for others. They can feel pain, but also they have compassion, and then they help other people. That I become aware of because as I grow in consciousness or awareness, I learn that. Also, this book helped me a lot. Tim Ferris, 4 Hour Work Week. It has the ability to change your life. Contain the knowledge. I think I said that already. But so in this world, right? People look up to somebody, whether it's they're famous, whether it's either Justin Bieber or somebody like Jay-Z, David Frank, or somebody famous. Like either they have like millions of followers on Twitter or Instagram, and they look up them as an icon, a hero, right, of theirs. And inside they beat themselves like, who am I to ask question, or who am I to ask them for something, and it's their dream. And I hear that a lot within people. It's like I remember there was a lady on Instagram. She said, Gary V is busy, so you shouldn't ask so many whatever on Instagram, not Instagram, or it was Twitter. Um, but Gary V understand that you have to persist to ask the big people name question that you want to get answered. Because I watch his Gary V video on YouTube, and over the years, um, for me, uh, the thing that I didn't know that would happen was, the greatest thing about Michael Lozier that he's a mentor, like a like a really good mentor, because he see things that I can't see. Because I told him also it's a mixture of everything, a dream, and also a dream to inspire other people, a strategy, because I'm frustrated and to solve a problem that the law of attraction people niche. And also I remember when I was beginning to do interview, I was so scared because you know you know building a niche like law of attraction, I just didn't want to do that. I knew that it would kill me inside. I knew that it would burn my soul, or like I would be feeling like, do I really want to do this one more time? Like, because I would see people would interview like a niche. They have a niche that they do, right? Law of attraction or spiritual, they have a niche, or multi-level marketing, they have a niche, or fitness people, they have a niche, and they have that. But I wanted to also show people that you can interview whoever you wanted to interview, whether you look up to them or not. Um, and oftentimes I have this fear that because when I was starting out, I was like, who am I to interview these people? Because I'm a nobody. Like, I don't have lots of followers or subscribers. I'm just beginning my journey of success, or whatever success is for me. And I got so many no's at the beginning, rejections, and then that was horrible. Like I couldn't deal with it. And then the Michael Lozier, I remember he told me in the interview, he said he groomed me to do it, because at first I was like, I had to learn things that was not, I love learning them, but when as the beginning was so difficult, like I stumble, I fail, and I was like, wow, I never knew. Is there a different version of interview that I never knew about? So I learned from my other mentor friend. He's like, it's a form of conversation. And then as I do interviews, I like, because I would watch like Joe Rogan, how he bounce ideas, or you would see Lewis House, how he does his interviews. Oh, and Michael Lozier guided me to um, uh, Louis, I can't remember her name, but she and the last name is Enno Mays. She interviewed Joseph Dispenza and all the people, and it was so difficult. Um, and I had to push forward, and I start trying to go out of my comfort zone, my fear, because I remember I had lots of fear. Um, I didn't even know if I could ever interview uh, Lennon Honor, the guy who I look up to, right? I never, I don't know if that would ever happen, and I felt like I wanted to give up. I was like, this is too hard, um, and uh, and I had that fear, like, oh, I like, wow, it's not easy to just ask people for an interview if they reject you. No, the first time, um, Pam Groth, right? Pam Groth, I didn't know if she's gonna say yes or no, but that was pretty exciting. The first time, that was pretty exciting. I remember I asked, it was on Twitter, but I tweeted her, and then she said I sent her an email, and then I tweeted her, and then she said she sent me an email. She said yes, but I remember when I would start doing the interview with her, I would start shaking, um, and I was so nervous. I was like, oh my god, is this gonna have it happen every time? So, um, so let me see. And I love hearing different opinions and perspective, because people have um, different perspective because they come from different backgrounds. They have different lives that they live. I wanted also to do Kung Fu Masters because that's part of me, or art, or law of attraction, person development. I just didn't want to just do law of attraction. I just didn't want to do personal development, but I also wanted to, because I was scared, right? In my head, I was like, should I do a niche, or should I go out of my comfort zone, or should I just do what I want to who I want to interview? Because I have a book of Wing Chun. and I wanted to interview the Wing Chun master. So he said yes. So I started this chain of interviewing Kung Fu master because I want to know what they know. And of course, at the beginning, I had to find out how can I uh, um, get them on my YouTube channel, right? And it was not easy. I stumbled a lot. At first, I was like, um, uh, I would like to interview you, right? But then I found out that I have to uh, learn how to get them on my YouTube channel, and it's like, um, uh, may I, something I haven't done it for a while, but to be able to help them promote their work to my audience and build an audience, because bigger people want exposure. They want uh, they need reach. So that's why I'm building my YouTube channel with content, so I can build my YouTube channel up, so I can interview, because it's still I still want to do interview, right? Because it's people I want to listen to their thoughts. I love the stories, right? I still love the story, um, how how each lives has been changed through something, either dramatic, a book, or someone changed their life, and I want to hear that their thought patterns. And I had to overcome a lot of fears that I had. I remember I wanted to interview Evan Carmichael, and I was afraid because it's like, who am I to interview Evan Carmichael because he have like 900,000 subscribers. Same thing as Roberto Blake. Same thing with Owen Video. I wanted to ask them because I'm afraid that they might say no. And I remember it took me tremendous work when I wanted to interview Bob Dole, because I wanted to help other people too. That's still in my mind, right? How can I get the big name, not just only to do it for me, but to do it for the audience, to help them become aware of something that they haven't been aware of, because I'm still trying to solve a problem, and that was my still attention, because I was frustrated within the law of attraction community, because it was my pain, and I had to and I was like, why I didn't want to just to teach it, right? Because I didn't have the authority, because somehow people wanted to make this magical pill. So I had to build skills and persistent and asking. It was so difficult. I had to ask so many times, and I had to follow up, and um, it was not easy to follow up because you're afraid, because you go into your head and it's like, would this person want to do an interview with me? I remember when I interview with Ron Balicki, follow up his Twitter, and he finally tweeted back, and then he gave me his cell phone, and then I called him. I remember I had a fear because I hung up by accident because I was afraid that uh, he won't do the interview. I don't know, because I was afraid or something. I can't remember, and I was so afraid. And I think it's still over. And also I still have to overcome that fear, right? Because like, who am I to interview this person that I want to interview? Whether to help them promote their work, to change my audience life, or to gain new perspective, to ask them a question that I want them to ask them. And it's not easy. Um, Promote their work, build my. Let me see. I'm trying to busy. Okay, so in Tim Ferriss' book, right? And I'm just a normal guy, right? Well, in my head, I don't want to be normal. I hate normal. Because I didn't have connection. At the beginning, I didn't have anybody. All I had is my books. Like, books helped me, motivate me, um, and I didn't have anyone to push me. It was tough doing this by myself. And I had to read books. I was like, yes, okay. So I had to believe in myself. Even if I believe in myself, I remember, I was like, no, I have to go toward my fear, right? That is where, and then also, every time I would go accomplish a dream of mine, or whatever, a strategy, whatever you want to call it, and my heart would beat, right? And I was so scared, but I was so excited at the same time, because I'd done something that I was able to do or proud of doing, the work that I have done, right? So Tim Ferriss' book said how to get George Bush, uh, SR on, or the CEO of Google on the phone. Now, so many people laugh at you because they think it's impossible to get famous people on your show. You can, but they think it's impossible. Say, who are you to interview a famous people, right? They don't understand that it was possible because they don't think they don't like we have technology now that you can go to ask question from because I would see it like I would see people would ask question from Selena Gomez and I also took the chance to ask a famous person a question, right? But we don't do that. So that's the thing that we don't do. We're afraid that they might not. I mean, I'm still afraid. The article below titled "Feel Better," written by Adam Gott Testfield, explore how I reached Preston student to connect with a luminary level business mentor and celebrity of various type. I edited for in a few places. People are fond of using "it's not what you know, it's who you know" adage as an excuse for inaction, as if all successful people are born with powerful friends. Nonsense. Here's normal people build super normal network. Fell better. This is by Tim Ferriss, 4 Hour Work Week. Most Princeton students love to procrastinate in writing their dean's date term papers. Ryan Morin, I can't remember say his last name, '07 from Los Angeles was no exception. But while the majority of undergraduates fill their time by updating their Facebook profile or watching videos on YouTube, Martin was discussing Soto Zen Buddhism via email with Randy Conmiser, a partner or the venture capital firm Kilpricken, I can't even say their name, get that, Calfield, and buyers, and asking Google CEO um, Eric via email when he had been happiest in his life. Smith, I can't even say his last name, tomorrow. Prior to his email, Marion had never contacted Co-Miss or he had met Smith, Eric Smith or something, I don't know. A Princeton University trustee only briefly at a academic affair meeting of the trustee in November. A self-described normally shy kid, Marion said he would never have dared to randomly email two of the most powerful men in Silicon Valley. If it wasn't for Tim Ferriss, who offered a guest lecture in professional Professor Ed Swart high-tech entrepreneurship class. Ferris challenged Morin and his fellow seniors to contact high-profile celebrities and CEO and get their answer question they have always wanted to ask. For extra incentive, Ferris promised the student who could contact the hard-to-reach name and ask the most intriguing question a round-trip plane ticket anywhere in the world. I believe success can be measured in the number of uncomfortable conversations you're willing to have. I felt that if I could help students overcome the fear of rejection with cold calling and cold email, it would serve them forever. Ferris said it's easier to sell yourself short, but when you see your classmate getting response from people like former President George Bush, the CEO of Comcast, Google, and HP, and dozens of other impossible to reach people, it forces you to reconsider your set limitation. Ferris lecture to the student of high-tech entrepreneurship each semester about creating a startup and designing the ideal lifestyle. I participate in this contest every day, said Ferris. I do what I always do. Find a personal email if possible. Often their little known personal blog, send a 2 or 3 paragraph email which explain that I'm familiar with their work and ask them one to simple answer but thought provoking question in that email related to their work or life philosophy. The goal is to start a dialogue so they can take the time to answer future email, not to ask for help. They can come at a 3 or 4 genuine email exchange. So that's pretty much it because we see them as famous, but when the first time that I keep doing this, I was like, whoa, this actually work, right? So I keep doing asking and interviewing, but I failed because there was either people who I wanted to help, because now I learned that to help them promote their work, but they would say no because I don't have a lot of subscriber or follower, and it would suck. It would hurt my soul. But because he's the hero Gotham deserves, but not the one it needs right now, we'll hunt him because he can take it. I said, hell no, I can't take that shit. Fuck, man. I felt it all the time. It hurt, man. Because he's not our hero. He's a silent guardian and a watchful protector. A dark knight, Commissioner Gordon. I think over time that the interview helped me to overcome my fear of who am I to do this? Who am I to... and it also built my resilience to things. But it still does not come easy. Because people think it would to inspire, to uplift, to change people, and you have to, man, it's not easy. You have to also motivate yourself to do it, and it's like you would think that every time that you would do an interview, it would get easier and easier to ask the person that you want to ask to be on your show, and that you think it would be easier. It's like me creating a video. It would never get easier with time. You think it would be easier because you've done so many, but hell no, it's not. So my thought today is that I'm happy that it changed my life because it helped me grow in consciousness or awareness. It helped me build the skills. It helped me be patient, resilient, because I still want to do an interview with people who I want to look up to or watch as a kid. Like for instance, this person he told me this, that keep going, right? Because he couldn't do an interview with me right now, but it's my childhood dream. And he said keep going. That's why I continue to do what I do, put my YouTube channel, and that's pretty much it. Like there is a fear that I have. So many of people are building their or do interview because they're afraid that the person might say no. They might say yes, they might say no, but also you have to follow up with that and you have to attack the fear. That's pretty much it I got for today. I'll see you guys next time.